4, 3, 2, 1. The floor is lava.
We've been listening to you.
I was playing The Floor is Lava with my son last night. This reminds me of the music I was playing.
Oh.
He's like, sing mom, when I was like, bing-a-da bam 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 ba-dee-ba ba-da-ba, the floor is lava. What do you think of my new music though?
That was pretty. I like it.
Do you like it?
I do.
It's kind of relaxing.
It is.
You know, like
very relaxing.
Eases us into a Tuesday. Talk about relaxing. I'm really relaxed now that you're here and back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed you guys. So
Missed you too. Yeah. Every time you were gone, I was like, beat it. Beat it.
yeah, beat off 2023,
Don't-
right?
Yeah, the beat. Yep. Okay. So many jokes. So many jokes.
There we
Woo!
go.
If you're not from the area, we'll bring you up to speed when you move here. So
Sure.
All right. Well, let's get this party started. You guys, I have had a guest like consistently for weeks. This has been, all right.
It's awesome.
Yeah. We're going to get the Emmys rolling in here soon. So, especially with the writer's strike, I feel like I have a real good shot.
You
maybe?
probably do.
You think
Yeah.
so? Okay.
We'll nominate you.
Yeah. I think Brian Sean had an Emmy. I'll have to ask him. He was on the show. So maybe
Yeah.
he can put a good word in
Okay.
for me.
Sure.
So, okay.
He got an Emmy, huh?
I don't know. I'll have to ask him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I know he didn't get the EGOT.
Oh, okay.
No. I think it was the Oscar he's missing. So.
Oh.
Yeah. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. This is Put a Fork in It, Grand Forks' most exciting watched podcast, videocast, wherever you might be. My name's Courtney Barstead Logan. I'm a realtor here in the Grand Cities with eXp Realty. You can find me on social media at Grand Cities Living. If you're watching live, welcome. You've already found us, or maybe you're on my private page here on my personal page because we're friends. But just as I've asked before, please give us like or a comment or something, just so I know who is watching out there. Because it's unlike stories and such, I can't see who's watching. So I just want to say hey and thanks for watching. And if you need to contact my broker, you can always send an email to nd.broker@exprealty.net. So all the funky stuff out of the way. We're going to talk about fun stuff today. I'm going to preface it with Friday I had my mammogram. So this is dun dun dun. Yep. So pretty exciting, but in all fairness, I do it in October because they give away treats. So
nice.
Yeah, so I got a cookie and registered for some prizes. So very exciting, very exciting. But today I have a returner, but we're talking about something different. So I want to welcome to the show my friend Seanna Smart.
Hey everybody.
Hey. So last time we talked about the shopping club that we both love, enjoy, and we can always talk about that at the end too if we want to. But since you were on the show, a lot has changed.
A lot.
You got a perm.
Yeah. I'm going for the 1980s look here, everyone. Okay, so if it's not on camera and you can't see this, I look like 1980s mom that has tight perm their hair. Really,
it's amazing. I love it.
Oh,
I do too. I think it looks good.
I think it's amazing.
I'm used to long, straight hair.
Yeah.
So this is a change.
But when we were talking about, and we'll get into this, like the whole story here of not just her hair, but I think we were talking about when it comes back, like was it going to be blonde and curly? So but it's still your beautiful dark hair.
Well, that's dyeing it. The natural route of things. Otherwise, it would be salt and pepper.
Salt?
Literally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Push it real good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, so I asked you to come here today. Throughout the month, there's kind of been a theme woven in. I mentioned I had my friend Brian Sean here. He talked about his cancer journey of just going in and doing a genetic test, finding out he had colon cancer and walking through that through his life. And it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which should be every month. We should be aware. But I wanted to bring you on the show to share your journey because it's pretty unique in the sense that you, similar to Brian, you weren't doing your annual like me, getting in, doing that because you're young. You're young and vibrant. No one's been sending you in for those. So
No.
So So if you don't mind sharing kind of the beginning of your journey and what that has been like for you.
Yeah. So I was 39. It was literally a year ago that I had my biopsy done. So in September, I have a 70-pound golden doodle, and we usually cuddle. And instead of cuddling this particular day, I was laying on my side, and it was my left breast that had the cancer. And she came and she sat right on that. And I mean, we're going to be transparent here. I was no small-chested woman. I had double D's and probably could have been in a bigger size, but I had bigger breasts, so they were very dense. But when she sat on it, it hurt. She's 70 pounds. And so I went to go grab it, and that's when I found the first lump. And can
we say, let's be honest, like it does hurt when people sit on your boobs.
Yeah.
So if males are like, oh, that was at
they
your
don't
side.
get it.
Okay,
Yeah.
So you grabbed and
I was like, what the hell is this? And then I was like, maybe she just bruised it because she's so big and whatever. And then the next day I told my husband, and he's like, well, maybe you should get it checked. And then the next day I did a full-on exam, breast exam, which, by the way, it's super important. I was 39 years old. I hadn't been doing them, and it doesn't matter. You don't get breast cancer at 40. We'll fast forward, but in my breast cancer group, I have somebody as young as 26. So the fact of the matter is that it's very important. So I did the full-on exam, and that's when I found about the size of a baseball underneath my armpit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was very big. So my cancer, I had 2 spots on the left side, and one was the size of an egg, the other was a kiwi, and then there was 5 lymph nodes involved. So then it was like drinking. Yeah.
So had you been doing your annual exams in general with your doctor?
Not necessarily, because usually the annual exams, I mean, you have your pap smears, every 5 years? The schmear every 5 years. So, But I mean, not until you're 40 is when technically you get your mammogram done. And so I didn't have.
You weren't going in for got it. Got it. Okay.
No,
yeah,
I mean, no.
Yeah.
I'm not really a rule follower on that side of things. I don't step on it. Yeah.
Holding onto a pump.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks. Okay. Kind of like a boob.
It is, yeah. John's
Just too small for me.
Here's 2. There you go. Yeah.
There.
So fast forward, then it was like appointment after appointment. I was denied my PET scan with my insurance because, why wouldn't it be necessary to make sure that it's not spreaded anywhere else, because it already had into my lymph nodes. But, fought that and ended up starting treatment. I had 16 rounds of chemo. I found out I also have a genetic gene, which the gene that I have is breast, ovarian, pancreatic, and prostate, which obviously doesn't pertain to me.
And rewinding a bit, was there a cancer history in your family?
No, and that's the thing, you guys, is like I'm a nurse by trade, so in nursing school and stuff too, that was always the first question, like, what is your genetics? Like, do you have family history? And this is the fact of the matter is I've done a lot of research in the last year, and whether you do have a genetic disposition or family does or doesn't, the fact of the matter is what we eat and what we put on our bodies and all of that stuff have a huge factor of growing cancer. And I wasn't helping on that side of things at all, because mine was hormone positive. So meat I ate, I mean, we know that meat has hormones depending on where you get it. What we put on makeup, I mean, hormone disruptors, candles, air freshener plugins, you name it. So I just kept feeding that cancer without realizing it. Now I'm completely green and clean, and I don't.
And mean.
Yeah, I'm tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so that was that, and then it was like I described it like drinking from a fire hose. I mean, it was
crazy.
It was crazy. Yeah.
It was, and every day I think one of the things that I learned, I mean, I've learned a lot because you've been so transparent with people, which is good. I think people need to hear, the different things, but I think one of the things that I learned and maybe made me super aware is the journey that you've had to go through to get your care covered. And I think just even at the very beginning, like we were going to grab coffee and you were like, I can't, like I am literally on the phone trying to get this, my next treatment taken care of or, whatever it was. And it was like, what can we do, And in a time where you're like, holy cow, like my world just got turned upside down of where am I going? We're worrying about what care we're allowed to have, with insurance. So that was just very eye-opening for me to say, check yourself, to check, make sure that you're going through, the different things for yourself. So you're advocating for yourself health-wise, but know what coverage you have. What does that look like? Because I think we just check the box a lot of times.
Well, and we have great coverage. My husband is a firefighter for the community. I mean, we have city insurance, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, you know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is that if the person behind in the cubicle at the insurance place doesn't think it's necessary and have never experienced it, like it's just a write-off. That's all it is.
Yep.
I had 2 oncologists voucher for me that it was absolutely necessary to know if it had spread it anywhere else, and they still denied it. Still to this day, every PET scan is denied. $2,400.
Absolutely crazy. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Just to see. And
I mean, what's insurance for? You pay for it, you pay for it, and you pay for it. And if you're lucky, you never have to use it.
Yeah.
But when you do, they don't let you use it.
Yeah.
Or they drop you.
Or,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep. And I think that's something too. You'll be harder to insure, in the future, and things. But to have to walk through that, I think, is just such a disservice. We could have a whole show on this, because I was so angry about that, where, you were like, hey, I'm walking through this. This is what I need or whatever. But I was like, I'm so angry about this because so many families walk through that. We talk about that with, I know your family dealt with some medical things with your son, and, just different things like that, where that's the last thing we should be worrying about. You're focusing on your care, your family, and what you needed to do. And you've done a great job of doing that, advocating for yourself. You checked out a number of facilities, correct?
Yeah, I did. I always said I was interviewing, because this is a thing. We are our own advocate, and doctors are doctors. They're just as human as us. And not that I was looking for the answer of them not telling me I had cancer. It was more or less like, what are we going to do together? How are you going to fight for me? Because I'm all in to fight for this. It's just, are you with me? And so in the end of it, at the beginning of my journey, the PET scan was denied, but ended up being the greatest blessing, because that's when I then came into contact with my primary oncologist, which his name's Dr. Pody, at the Cancer Center here in town of North Dakota. It's separate from anywhere else. A lot of people, I didn't even know about it, and it's been here for 20 some years. So anyways, that's how I got in connection with them. And it's been the greatest blessing, because then I was able to have care here. My surgeries I didn't do here, I did in Fargo. And then my reconstructive side of things I'll be doing in St. Cloud in December. But yeah. But I mean, even backtrack of, the insurance side of things, I've just been super blessed. Courtney's one of them, I call him my tribe. And our family was beyond blessed of the benefit that they had for our family, and raised some incredible amounts of money for us to help cover these things, unfortunately, because insurance wasn't willing to cover. So
yeah. But I think there's just so much more with it, and you see the impact on a family where it's it's easy for meal trains, for me to throw together a mediocre meal, I would say, a little taco in a bag, but,
so good.
and the cupcakes.
The
but like that is an easy thing. And I always tell people, like, it's so much more eye-opening when you see, like, that's something you're not going to have to worry about. And some days you weren't even able to get out of bed to get, to answer the door for that. And the more that we can do as a community, like, that's really the point of the show, right? Is, connecting with people in our community. What can we do? How can we pay that forward? And we can't always, we don't know what it's like to walk through that, but what can we do, to help, to support, to advocate? And I think, even just telling people that, like, make sure that you're getting your checks. Make sure you're advocating for yourself when you go to the doctor and saying, this is a problem. I feel this is a problem, what that is. So, and your primary doctor you went to right away was like boots on the ground. Like,
Ann
let's
Mason.
go.
She was amazing. Yeah. She's like, the mammogram, the ultrasound, the next step, the biopsy. I mean, it just went by so fast. And then it was like, okay, getting my port in, then having chemo. And
everything was so fast.
It was very fast.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't think people talk about, even after the fact. Like, you go through it, for me anyway, it was like, okay, we have a game plan. I know I have this, 16 weeks, but ended up every other, but of chemo. So 16 rounds of chemo. Then I knew I was having surgery. Then they wanted to do radiation. And it was like, you have this mindset. And so it was like, you just followed those steps. And now it's like, I'm at my year mark where I feel like now things are just starting to kind of deal with per se, you know, like it's not that I didn't deal with them, but then I have 3 children, 16, 13, and 10, where it was like, I had to not have my game face on, because I truly believe in our home vulnerability is one of our greatest gifts, and it's okay to not be okay. But we went through it together, you know? And so even backtracking, when I first started the journey, I was like, okay, I would love to connect with other women that are going through this. Like, what does the support groups look like? Well, there was none. And so I was like, okay, well, here we go. Let's do this. And so in January, I had met a friend. She'd found me through social media. And she was going through breast cancer too. And she's like, well, I was like, you want to do this with me? And so, yeah, Casey and I started a support group. We now have 28 women. I mean, it's asinine. It's like, I want more women to come, but yet I don't want them to because of the situation. So it's been a blessing. We meet every third Monday, and it's been pretty cool to see it grow and to be able to be helpful. You know, and everyone's at different stages, of course. I mean, we have one that's been a survivor since 2017, you know, and then ones that are just starting treatment. So,
and I mean, such a service, because I think, you know, you look at your tribe and there wasn't somebody that says like, okay, here's the steps, here's what you need to do, like, here's what we're gonna, you know, set up. But I mean, you had people that stepped in right away and said, this is what we're gonna do, here are the things that are gonna happen. But on the breast cancer side of things, we don't know what we don't know. And for the 28 of you currently, to have somebody that said, in 2017, I went through this, like, here's some tips, some tricks, some things, versus the person saying, what can I do to help? You didn't know. I mean, you didn't know how to answer that.
I think you need all of that, though.
Yeah,
you
also
really
didn't
do.
know.
You really do. And even, it's all part of the community, like ones that truly get it because they walk through it, just like anything, whether it's cancer or, you know, you get in a bad car accident and, you know, you have repercussions from that. I mean, people relate to people when they've gone through it themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, So now, so you finished radiation?
Yeah, they wanted to radiate my chest wall. I'm on my left side. I refused it, actually, because my heart, our heart, our lungs, your esophagus is there, your thyroid, all of that. And people don't talk about what happens long term. You know, some people are like, don't you just want to get rid of the cancer right now? And it's like, well, yeah, but I have the mindset that I'm not only going to get rid of it, I'm going to live a life for I don't know how many years, God willing, whatever is planned for me. And I don't want the long-term post radiation cancer that you can get. We just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, after surgery, they said 7 to 10 days I would find out my results of, like, if there was still cancer in the tumor bed. They ended up taking 4 lymph nodes, and the cancer had shrunk significantly. It was still like 4% in my breast, but the lymph node was still like over 4 centimeters. So I was like, okay, I allowed them to radiate just under my arm where the lymph nodes were. And then I had my PET scan. It was like a month after that. So I had to sit and wait and wait and wait. Talk about learning patience. Holy camoly. And not let your mind start to spin and wonder. And, you know, but I hang on to my faith for sure. And so that's definitely got me through. But PET scan came back and everything was gone. So that's good. Praise the Lord for that.
Yes. So now is remission a word we're using?
Yeah. They call it NED now, no evidence of disease.
Okay.
None of us are really cancer free. I mean, we're all born with cancer cells and whatever. So I don't say cancer free, definitely in remission. And I just lived my life out. I've radically changed my life in January when I started doing a lot of research. And so, I mean, you can take things, and depending on, it can either, you know, make you fall and trip you up and cause more harm in your life, or you can choose to take it and make it be a blessing, I guess. And that's what I just have chosen to do in our family. My family did too. So,
well, and you, as a mom, you had no choice. This was just watching you was, I have this, I'm moving forward. I have my babies regardless of their age, right? Like, this is something that, like, my family is my top priority always, you know, for you and your husband. And so this is something I need to manage and take care of, but we're doing it together because your family was such a part of that. You've all been, you know, on a journey together, whether you bought your house and your farm and, and just doing everything. So it was just really inspiring to watch that, but, to see, your kids and them walk through that. How has it been for your family? Has it been, it's been hard. It's, I don't think that we can say like, well, we just we walked through this, but do you think that them being a part of juicing and changing lifestyles and walking through, being at the surgery and stuff like that, has that been?
Each of them, it's affected them differently. They all have different personalities. My oldest son and I are very, very close, and he's he's always been one to work out 5 to 6 days a week, but just has incorporated some other things. I don't eat dairy anymore, by the way. If you guys research dairy, especially us breast cancer women, 50% of women get reoccurrence from dairy because of the hormones and everything else, which we could really go deep here with Susie Komen and her, their advertisement is all yogurt, it's all dairy, but it's all twisted.
I like that you called her Susie.
Yeah, good old Susie.
Susie.
No liar.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, she does good, but you just bottom line, everybody's journey's their journey, but just research because it's sometimes false advertisement and so forth. But anyways, back to the family, we have really changed a lot of things, just even ingredients of like seasonings, dressings, all of that stuff. And so my kids just have adapted to it on that side of things. I think every personality is different. My son always talks about things. My youngest is more quieter about it. But for the most part, it for sure has brought us all together. Yeah, for sure.
You all are doing stuff together, and I think it's a reminder of of your family squad too. I think just to have you guys were, just like every family, constantly on the go, doing the things, and like everybody, kids are in sports and work and stuff. And what I really noticed is just having those moments of quiet, even if it's your 30-minute games, that you guys are doing. And so I think, commending you guys on, hey, we're going to take these moments of time and just, and breathe a little bit. And it kind of, I don't know, inspired some other people too, just to,
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's what I told the kids at the very beginning when we first told them that I had cancer. I knew how I was going to go about it. And like I told them, they don't have to come alongside, right? They get to choose to. And either way, so when I would have chemo every single week, we allowed our kids not to go to school. Like if you're wanting to be there, then you can be there. But if you are not, I do not want you to feel guilty. Like there is no pressure. Like you get to be where you want if you want. And some of them, one of them came the first and the last, and that's okay. It's absolutely okay. So, and even like on the surgical side of things and seeing the scars afterwards and stuff like that, it's like, one of my middle daughters, it took a very long time, and that was okay. That was absolutely, and so I was just respectful of that, and I'm grateful for that. I didn't want to, because even us as adults, we react to things differently, and nobody can make us want to do something. We get to choose to do that, and it is no different for my 10, 13, and 16-year-old,
Yeah. Well, from the outside looking in, you weathered a storm as a family, well, and I think that's a credit to your faith and just you as a family to say, this is something we're bringing in, and it's just, I think it's an inspiration of, how we're managing it, and I think you guys have done an amazing job. You've done an amazing job. There's plenty of times where you've come on and people have never met Seanna or been online, she's very transparent of, was at my appointment, or this is going on, or having a tough day. And I think that is so important, for people to see and to watch and to be able to follow that with you, to know where that's at. And I also think that was probably helpful for you through your healing process too, to be able to share that.
Well, in cancer, in the nursing side of things, cancer was always like, dun, dun, dun. I always thought cancer equaled death. And it's like, it doesn't. And I just wanted people to see that there's another side to it, Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So walking away, what would be your takeaway for people that are saying, oh my gosh, 25 or 39, or, I just started checking at 40, what would be your biggest takeaway, especially let's talk to the ladies today. What would be your biggest your takeaway for ladies out there?
Yeah, I think definitely your self-check is absolutely super important. And if you don't know how to do it, Google it. Like, it's really not that difficult. And somebody just asked me this recently, like, if you could go back over, would you do it over again? I'm like, honestly, yeah, because of who I am today and who my kids are. And so sometimes our worst news ends up becoming one of our greatest blessings. So if you are diagnosed with breast cancer, just remember that you are your own advocate. You get to choose. Just because the doctors are saying what they're wanting to say, you know, interview other oncologists until you feel comfortable of where you're at. And then you get to make the decision, and don't let anybody do not let anybody tell you otherwise, you know? So yeah, that's probably my biggest advice is it'll end up being, if you allow it, it'll end up being one of your greatest blessings.
And would you have ever thought that would be
No.
what you'd be saying?
No.
Right?
No. I mean, I never even thought I'd ever be diagnosed with cancer.
Right.
But it's part of my journey, and I always say this is my mission on earth here. So now I have that piece of it where now I can relate to cancer people, and so now it's like I don't know. I see it as a blessing just because now I have a different lenses to see things, and not that people that don't have cancer don't. It's just I don't know. I would go back right through it again. Yeah, I would.
Wild, right?
Yeah. But
So-
anything in life, right? Doesn't matter if it's cancer. Anything we go through, like, it just becomes a part of you, and it either dictates you or it just becomes a part of you. You get to decide which one.
Yep. And you said that from the beginning, I think, was like the message you would send to, to your friends. Like, this is what we're doing. This is how we're moving forward. This is the way I'm saying it. Here's how I am phrasing my journey, words I'm saying and not saying, and it was like, that's perfect. And you set the tone. So, so now moving forward, what does that look like for you?
So I actually have my next PET scan on the 31st. And
spooky.
Right.
We should wear a costume.
We should. Yeah. That would be really fun.
Yeah. We could be like a set of boobs.
Yeah, I could just be pumpkins.
Like M&Ms. Yeah, instead of M&Ms, show up as boobs.
We should. I totally think we should. That would be fantastic. Dr. Pody would get a kick out of that.
John's like, sign me up. Where is this?
Can I come with?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, so that's the next PET scan. He wants to do them every 3 months, but I've opted out just because of the radiation side of things. And so this will be the last one, hopefully for the next year.
Okay.
And then I have reconstructive surgery on December 6th, and that'll be in St. Cloud. I've chosen not to do implants. I've done my research, and it just was not a fit for me. And so I'm doing more of a natural side of things where they take your abdominal skin and tissue and create breasts out of it. It's amazing. So I'm going to be still part of the teeny weeny club because I do not want big boobs. Okay, let's just put that out there.
Kind of a nice little Christmas present.
Little
There you go.
Christmas.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, little Christmas balls.
Yep.
I did offer some of my abdominal skin.
Yeah.
I would like to note that. I offered some of my gut.
Wow, I got a lot of extra too.
I know. I was like, oh, and then I was
And
like,
it's not very hairy either. So
Okay, guys, I want small boobs, not big ones. Okay.
Yeah. But I was like, so do you need any? Like, do you need extra? So
It's amazing what they can do.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's
You're
absolutely
donor
crazy.
of your own donor, really is.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Super
But I
cool.
think it's good we recycle our own
Yeah.
stuff.
Right?
You know? So have an extra Christmas cookie. Enjoy a little candy because that abdominal stuff's going.
It's
up
gone. It's
top.
gone,
Yeah,
baby.
I love it. I love it. So that'll be December 6th. And then come the new year, then you just kind of set a new path of check-ins and with your
we'll
doctor.
just do blood tests and just kind of, and it, like, after they say the first 2 years are the most, alarming, I guess, and then you get to your 5-year and so forth. I think that's one thing that I've always put in my mind is that from the very beginning that you had asked, what should we title this? And I was like, do not capitalize the letter C in cancer because we're just not going to give it any more power than what it deserves.
Yep.
And so in my mind, I believe that I'm healed and that I have no more cancer. If cancer comes up again, well, then we'll deal with it then, but it's definitely not going to consume me on a daily basis.
Love it. Love it. I love your positivity, your spirit. Loved it before. Love it now.
Thanks,
and it's been a blessing to walk through this with you in whatever capacity I've been able to. And
super grateful.
Yeah, and just always a cheerleader over here for you. So
you are one of amazing cheerleader.
And I'm just very excited for you to be done with the doctor so we can like go back to coffeeing and things like that. You know,
it's not consuming my world anymore.
Right? It was so much more expensive over there.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's just go for our $5 coffee. Okay. Not the $3,000 PET scans here.
Right?
We're over it.
Yeah. You're like, I'm busy. We could have gotten a lot of Gucci bags for that. So
we could.
See?
Damn it.
I know. Okay. But just think it's already budgeted in for the next
Yeah,
few
yeah,
years,
there you go.
Be good. Well, I thank you for coming. I know you had other obligations this morning, so I'm going to get you off to them. So the ladies,
to be here.
yes, and if anyone's watching this after, thank you for sharing her with us this morning, from your group. And then if anyone wants to connect with Seanna, you or a friend, if it would be helpful for you to be in her group, as she mentioned, please message me, reach out, anything like that. I'd love to put you in contact because I think that's such a valuable group that you've started. And so kudos to you and your gals there. So
yeah, for sure. Let us know. We'd love for you to be a part of it.
Awesome. Well, today, it's going to sound weird. Get yourself checked. Make sure you put a fork in it, but not in that way. So have a great week, everybody.